Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer, and welcome back to PCM23 Lions. This is episode number 26. It's a 1 pro race. It's not on our objectives list. It's just another opportunity to get a noteworthy result. I'm just really aiming to ensure we get that 100% evaluation this year. Right now, we have it locked down. Actually, don't even need the 100%, just that 85, that super success level. For now, we're comfortably 100, but that could change, especially as we're going to go through this next phase of quick simming the minor ones. That could take a knock on what we're doing. So I've got Burhi in the break today, plus 10 other riders in this break. 3-minute advantage. Burhi is really tired. He's got a -2 today. I did not prepare for this race in any special way. We just have the team we have. The guys with the best race day conditions are the non-sprinters, and this is very much a sprint race. So all of my sprinters combined have a 0 net race day condition, and then Burhi, the one guy in the break, has a -2. So our chances aren't looking great, but as far as a draw, considering we had no preparation for this, a +5, 4, and 5, looking pretty decent. I think our expected net was about a +2, so I will happily take a +12 net. That's a pretty good draw today. Or I suppose that's a +10 net, but either way, 3-minute advantage. This group is getting faster, and Burhi's not going to last much longer, so we can kind of bid him farewell sooner rather than later. We do need water one final time here with 54k to go. Let's go ahead and send Johannes Stalik to get that at the pace currently set. And with the advantage of that front group, though, it does look like it's going to start splitting up here pretty soon. And the peloton's already splitting up, just 106 riders left. I do suspect that this may not necessarily come down to sprinters, but there's only 3 short climbs left, so protecting those guys could and should hopefully make it possible for them to see it out. Burhi, done. First one dropped from the group. Set him to auto. Actually, set him to recover. He's off. He'll come back to the group. He's just over a minute ahead. Getting just a little bit of recovery. Let's go ahead and use his gel, because we're going to hit this climb again here shortly. And if he's going to give anyone a break, who do we want? Is Shimway. Go ahead and take a break. Shimway, go ahead and follow Gibbons for now. He'll take over again shortly. Wow, okay. That did not last. Couldn't protect Gibbons again. 2 climbs left to go. Front group splitting up more and more. And we've got an attack of some riders. Some punchers going for it. Burhi's been dropped. Peloton has really split up now. Just 37 riders as we have one last climb to go. Let's step this up so we don't get dropped. Still 27k to go, so no reason to believe that those guys that have attacked will go anywhere, as 2 of them already got reeled in, 2 more to be reeled in soon, or some of those breakaway riders that are still being chased down. Back together, 111. Last climb. Last few guys trying to escape off the front. De Villiers not looking great, but otherwise it's the domestiques. It's the guys serving the sprinters that have taken the brunt of what's here, and that's good. We're now a peloton of just 29. Another attack with 17k to go. And I'm not sure there's going to be a response to this one if we don't respond, but I've already got 3 guys used up, so I'm down to just 4 with 17k to go. I don't want to respond here, but I don't have much of a choice. I will try to put these 2 on the back. I'm not going to gel up yet for Samuels because I don't want to chase hard. I don't want to be the one chasing. Good. Okay. And sitting. Except that there are still a handful of riders off the front. 1 at the front. Another attack. Are we chasing or are we not? 7 riders clear in 2 groups there. Okay, they are giving us a little bit of toe break. And there we go. We have casually Sagan, Restrepo, Still one rider off the front. 8K to go. Now gel for these two. It's one attack after another. This is one reason why I do like to try to control things, but we are so weak. But I think we're finally at a point where we can push on for good now. 2 riders left off the front. Samuels is going to be done. I'm going to need to pause here, 5K, because we don't want a 99. Actually, 5K means gel for everyone. Shimway still has not been dropped from this, by the way. Any top 10 will do it for us. 3K to go. Arafane now leading out Gibbons. Gets squeezed by Vermark, even though he didn't get squeezed by Vermark. He still had a pretty healthy gap to the wall, but got afraid. 1.6, sprint. And sprint. And the front guys have been caught, but a couple guys got... Actually, the front guys don't end up getting caught. Gibbons is going to only overtake one of them. Does he squeeze into the top 5? No, it's going to be a 6th place finish for Ryan Gibbons, but it is a top 10. Vandenberg takes the win ahead of Sagan. That attack and move. We just didn't have any firepower to respond. Otherwise, we would have been in control at the front and competing, probably beating everyone except for maybe Vandenberg and Sagan, getting 3rd. But we just don't have flat ratings yet. It'll come. We got those 2 4-star guys now. If you stuck around to the end of last episode to see that one. So I'm excited that we are finally taking that next step. And while the first 2 guys were a climber and a puncher, others will come along that will provide us with better flat ratings so that we can handle this type of scenario a little bit better. Either way, though, we do squeeze into the top 10. 11th for Arafane as well. That'll add up to some points for us and possibly get us a plus for the top 10 today. Picking up another 1 pro race, another opportunity to just get that cemented super success in place. Not easy based on the undulation and not easy based on the competition. Just a very brief look at what some of the other teams have. Nielsen Ballas, Enric Mas, Tish Benut, Michael Matthews, Shampison, Steinhauser, Turgis, Shaw. Like every single team's leader is far stronger than anybody that we have. It's not going to be easy to crack the top 10 here today, especially if the tempo really, really picks up here down the stretch. This little sector of climbing and the next biggest climb of the day, if we get through those without some crazy tempo, we're going to be okay. Right now, 77 is blinking red territory. We're definitely going backwards a bit, but not in a we can't handle it sort of way. It's a slow drift. Definitely help us save some energy, get through this in one piece. We'll have a little descent to recover. This one, check that off. We're good to go. The next one's the other one I worry about, though, and the tempo is definitely increasing. The 7 riders in the break still have 3.5 minutes, but it's still 60 kilometers. And actually right now is our time to send somebody for Ziwatar. Coer is a little too weak for it. Let's go ahead and get Osman. Definitely some of our weak future prospect domestique guys in this race today. Definitely didn't do anything extra, anything bonus. Johannes Dalek, though, gets a nice draw. Overall, we're talking about a +4 net for the entire team. I think expected was like a +2, so it's a decent draw. Osman has the water, is not progressing. He's a little bit caught up behind this Arkea rider. And then now this Arkea rider. They're very much hogging the right-hand side of the road, but we get a little bit of clean air here before we start climbing too hard. And yeah, he's okay through there. All right, now it's that climb. This is the one I worry about. 3.6K, 5.8%, not bad. Not bad, but we do need to step this up a little bit. Run an 80 through this climb. Help us hold that position a little bit better, not drift too much. We already saw last episode what a little bit more drift can result in. 89 left in the peloton, so riders certainly did get dropped. And the front 7, they've only lost 1 minute, 2.5 minutes left, but 40K, Decent amount of descent, though, so, you know, they're not going to lose ground over that. Koer has been dropped, so he's out. And that means Anangana protect Johannes Delic. And we're through the phase that I worried about. The first domestiques, yeah, they're down. Oh, Jamal's now been dropped as well, so we are down another rider. Okay, get those climbing legs going now. Here in this final phase. Down to a minute and a half for the front seven, so they lost a lot more ground than I expected them to lose through what was mostly a descent. Over the top of that one. Short, steep stuff. Is this the short, steep stuff to the finish? That is the short, steep stuff to the finish. So we are going to loop back around on this one. Down to 65. Oh, no, no, no. I rolled you up, not down. Okay, Osman's out. We're down to the 4. Kudos or Molabron. Man, looking at the better climber versus better puncher and better shape. We'll take the better puncher. What do we have sprint wise though? Molabron, Johannes Dalic. Yeah, those two. Arangana has no red bar, but he's hanging in there. Just 56 left here. Breakaway is down to just 5 and splitting up and inside a minute. So they are actively blowing up right now. We're going to have a little valley section before we get into the final sequence. 3 short, steep climbs on the way to the finish line. And I've got 4 guys to run through that. Hopefully Arangana can get a little bit of recovery here. Oh, that's an attack. Jumbo-Visma's got it, though. Jumbo-Visma's got it. We are dealing with some strong, powerful teams here. 4 more escape. Jumbo-Visma for now is not chasing. Now it's 5. And now it's just 1 rider left off the front. And just 57 left in the peloton. Okay, here we go. This is it. Now, I don't want to be the one in charge, but with 14K to go and the undulation that you have the rest of the way up and down, it's going to go by pretty quickly. I'm not going to go 99 or anything like that, but we are going to get formed up. Wait, which way did I want to go? This way. And we're going to just casually put our foot down at first. Okay, Arangana's done. On a Kudos, 12.8K. He got us a third of the way up the first climb. Much shorter the last 2 climbs. Again, we are not trying to get out front right now, so easing off down to 32 riders. Now you're seeing favorites pushing, going for it. Paulus, Moss, and we're over the top of that one. I needed Kudos to make it that far, and he has, so we're still in good shape. 2 guys, 2 climbs. Kudos will get us to the base of it, keeps us in position for it. Has just an ounce of energy left, and now we're on to Johannes Dalic, and bam, just like that, we are in a strong position for a good finish. 6K. It's going to go very fast as it's largely a descent. Down to 20. Kudos also getting dropped. Full speed over the top for Johannes Dalic. And we will sprint this next climb. This is our chance to beat the best guys. This is our chance to maybe get a point for Eritrea. Attacking Johannes Dalic. Now attacking Molabron. Does he have what it takes? No. Those guys are too strong. Ben Healy, Nielsen Palace, Matthews, Champison. But Molabron will be right there in the top 10. Finishing it out towards the finish line. Final kilometer, still sprinting. Going backwards. Not good enough on the downhill. Palace takes the win ahead of Matthews, Champison. It's a top 10. It is a top 10. And Johannes Dalic is sprinting as well. Good. 2 riders in the top 10. Molabron gets 7th. I thought he had 6th. Thought we were in back-to-back 6th place territory, but hey, that's a good result. We got ourselves into the right position. We tried, but Mulebron just didn't have enough to compete with those guys. They were just too strong. He was there. He hung with them, but too strong of a field. But my goal was top 10, and we did it times 2. We did get a plus on the other one, so that will be a plus here as well. So we've added 2 pluses to the noteworthy results to help us out. Having gone forward a whole month, things are not looking amazing at this point. Vuelta Astorius was our next mild objective. We had a string of small objectives, and then Vuelta Astorius kind of in the middle of that. We've just hit the final stage of Vuelta Astorius. We have not won a stage here, but we have taken 3rd overall and 9th with Mulebron, but Zerai picks up a 3rd place overall in what was a much weaker field than we've been up against in these other races. So a little sad on that part, as I feel like I could have probably done a little more with it. But what does that do to our sponsor confidence? Because it had dropped below 100%, but right now where it's showing says 100% again, but it's not taking into account, well, really anything at the moment. It's not taking into account the day ticking by and having failed to get that stage. So let's see where we're at as we head into. So after 3 straight failed objectives now, combined, we're talking about 4 stars. So okay, it is something. It's not nothing. But with those, we are no longer on a 100%. We are still over 90, about 91, 92%. But it has taken a little bit of a hit. Plus, we have 2 more before we're then going to focus on the Mercantour, Slovenia, and Österreich Tour, the last 3 objectives that we have. I don't think I have any more 1 pros to give us any bonuses either along the way, though I could be wrong. I mean, there's another month to go before we get to Mercantour, so there is a period there, but I don't think I saw any 1 pros in it. So we do have 1, but it's not a 1 pro, it's a 2 pro. It's a 4-stage race. It does open with a prologue and 3 sprint stages. So depending on what sort of team we have there, we may want to get in there and try to get something one of those days to put us in a decent position to score a top 10. But otherwise, Mercantour is just a couple days after it. We do have our 3rd rider now at 4 stars. So we've done it. The big goal for this year was to get 3+ riders to 4 stars, and we've achieved it. 71 Cobble Rating for Kareem. So he's our first even acceptable Classics rider. 70 stamina, 77 flat. That is our first proper domestique on the team. So something a little bit different in profile. Lots of room to grow as a time trialist. He is set to train there, so we'll give him that opportunity to get better. Right now he's a 69 time trial and a 69 prologue. He could actually be pretty handy on that upcoming 2 pro race. We're hanging on to 25th position in the team rankings, now at 1,300 points. Getting very close to what we had a year ago with just 4 months played, which means less than half the season. Less than half the season behind us, and we are almost there. We got 1,500 a year ago. From what I've been seeing the last couple of months, I expected Mark Hershey to have 100 wins, but I suppose he wasn't winning anything last year. That's just this year so far, most likely. And Hershey, who's just been dominating those lower level races that we get into, he wins almost every stage, has looked pretty strong this season. He is very OP for this level, but it's Philipsen with 42, it's Van Aert with 41 who lead the way in terms of wins over the last calendar year. Meanwhile, we've managed 22 ourselves. We've matched Mark Hershey anyway. Today opens dossier, so I'm going to have to go through, do that work, search nation by nation, and see what I can find. So I'll be doing that. It's going to take me quite a while. That's all going to happen off camera. But here in the scouting department, I've now transitioned from the 17-year-old list to the 18-year-old list. I do have, as Yacine only has 2 guys here, and neither one of them is quality. I have focused on scouting them. I do have a 17-year-old set to do an observation on, so we're still active there. But Ryan Brown at least has enough 18-year-olds to get after and focus our search on them. Of course, I don't like searching the 17-year-olds for very long because some of them will have turned 17 since January the 1st. And the closer you get to the middle of the year, the more likely you are that as many as half of that list are going to be guys that can't be signed, and therefore it's a waste of your observations to look at. We only have 2 scouts, and they are of low quality, so I only get so much done, so much back in terms of observations. I'm only going to be able to get 2 to 4 writers maxed out with the 10 detection levels. I'm only going to get 2 to 4 that are going to get into that happy zone where you're 7+. I'll find a number that are 5+, but the 7+, it's going to be a small list. So wasting observations on guys that aren't going to be eligible to be signed is, well, it's just that. It's a waste, and it's a big waste. It's a costly waste. So I've definitely transferred to the 18-year-old list for Brown anyway, and Kamaja is getting closer. But I'm off to do that work. We're off until the end of May. So it's going to be close to a month. We're getting into that final stretch already. A few big races left to go, maybe a 4th. I'll kind of decide on what happens with the next 2 minor objectives and if we're still above super success at that point. And what we're looking at for those races, those profiles, how confident am I that we can pull off what's necessary. I think Mercator only needed top 10, and I'm pretty confident that we should be able to do that. If that's the case, then we really only need to succeed in 1 out of the other 2 to get our result, get our super success. But we thought we were there a year ago. We're definitely higher than we were at this point a year ago, but not by a lot. We're maybe 8 to 10% higher, and we ended up missing it by 5-6%. So it's close right now. It's close. But we're clearly better this year than we were a year ago. So my expectation is I think we can do it this year. Last year, I was hopeful, but we came up just short. This year, I'm a little more confident in the squad and what they're capable of. And even when we can't succeed with wins, I feel like we can succeed with top 5s, top 3s in overall and kind of make up the difference. Still a little bit to go, and we're kind of at that same point where we were that last time. So big questions still to be answered over the next couple of months. But that's going to do it for this episode. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.